the fact that I am Canadian and I did not have a clue who Charlie Kirk was. Oh, why is there orange on the other flag? Well, that's because I was painting when I used to live at the other place, High Voltage. I mean, Consigula, but the name of the channel was called High Voltage. So, this is the last time that I'm going to be talking about Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk and all of the diabolical coincidences that I think a lot of people have really, really engaged and really. I remember Candace Owens saying, I implore you. Now, one thing I want to say about Candace Owens before I move on to what I believe happened to Charlie Kirk, Candace would never come out and say anything that I'm going to say because she is in a tight political space. And we need to remember that Candace Owens, in my opinion, her best suited emotion, she said that crying wasn't her first emotion or her first go to emotion. Her first go to emotion is anger. And a lot of people can get fueled by anger. Now, one of the things that I've noticed about Candace Owens, and I'm not going to go back and go through footage. You can watch it yourself and research it yourself because everything I'm saying is fair use. It's been on mainstream media. I thought all of these things and as soon as I heard Candace saying them, I thought, okay, it's safe for me to say something because who am I? Right? At the end of the day, we're all very important, but yet not, if that makes any sense. And it all depends on your opinion. When Candace Owens came out and she showed the one clip of the speech by Erica Kirk, and I believe this was, if I'm not mistaken, 2 days after his passing. All right. Does everybody remember that speech? And she said, I want to thank the FBI and the first responders and the Trump administration. Excuse me? Your husband was just assassinated. Can we be straight about what happened? The man was unalived online in real time. And whether, you were watching it or you didn't watch it, I don't care what anybody says. People are so desensitized. But how on earth? Please explain to me. How on earth, San? San, how does somebody grieve that quickly? Explain that to me. I can understand people going numb, but she giggles all the time and she's like a really bad actress. If you go and look at, like, my videos don't get a lot of traction, and the verbiage and my thoughts sometimes are a little bit outside of the box. I find it a little difficult sometimes to stay on one track because I'm the type of person that has a lot of anxiety. And I've explained this in my other live that anxiety is nothing but the inability to regulate your emotions from childhood trauma. End of story. The only thing that I really agree with on Charlie Kirk are two things. The family unit is falling apart because if you look at, I'll segue back into why I think she's connected, in my opinion, with her husband's passing, because every time a husband is or a wife is not with us anymore, it's always the spouse. It is. And do you know that 60% of women who unalive their spouses or their loved ones have other people do it? Look at all the cases. Look at all of the cases. Look at Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Oh, I'd love to talk. I haven't followed her, but I want to. I know exactly what's going on with her because past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. Now, let's look at the psychology of Charlie Kirk and let's look at the MAGA movement. Okay, first of all, before I go on to that, let's finish up this speech. Who the hell comes out and thanks the FBI and this and that and blah, blah, blah 2 days after her husband has passed? Now, the piece that Candace Owens showed on her show that was very powerful was when I didn't know anything about Erica Kirk or Charlie Kirk. I didn't even know who the man was. I didn't. And now I'm fascinated. I'm absolutely fascinated. He was so young and brainwashed, absolutely brainwashed, not with his thoughts in Jesus. He didn't know Donald Trump. He would have grown up like that. But if anybody can tell me that he wasn't influenced by Donald Trump and Donald Trump's ideologies, if he has any ideologies, I don't know if Trump can think that deeply. I don't. Charlie Kirk turned down $150 million from somebody who had the background of Jewish descent. And they're saying that Charlie Kirk was bending his thoughts on Israel. What does anybody really do about anything? Nothing. We all sit here and we all talk about it, but what do we do? Now, I don't have enough time tonight to explain everything, but Erica Kirk, the part that Candace Owens showed, was the part where she said, the cries of this widow and this wife, there'll be battlefields all over the world. And I did a little live that actually got 7,500 views, which was the highest views I've ever had before. And I didn't know a lot about Charlie, and so it was very authentic. It was very real. And I did watch his funeral to mourn. And all I could do was stop and think, holy crap, is this weird? But when Candace Owens said that speech is the most historic speech in this generation of American history, when you read between the lines, she didn't show the part about the FBI and the CIA and the first responders. No, 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 no. Because Turning Point USA, it was an inside job. My first instinct was that it was MJD. Because what have we heard about his assassination? I think it was fake. I really do. His ear would have blown off. Okay. Also, the fireman who passed away. Why doesn't anybody have a memorial for the fireman who passed away at a Trump rally? And what has Trump done for that family? And then, if you go on to my shorts, there's a piece of footage with Donald Trump, and he said this: Erica Kirk. I had met Erica, but Charlie told me she's very beautiful. She's so beautiful, and she's the smartest woman that I know. And sometimes those things go together, but not very often. So, what he was saying is beauty and smarts don't go together except once in a while. What a misogynistic pig. And, Priscilla Presley was going on and on and on about the Inquirer and Elvis's death. She unplugged the hook on her daughter for money. Charlie Kirk was killed, in my opinion, because of money. Who was behind it? We'll find out. But it wasn't Tyler Robinson, and she grieves too quickly. And when you read between the lines of what Candace says, she knows exactly what's going on. I like the way her angry little brain twirls around and around and around and around. I did drink your milk, Mom. Oh, and them saying that Charlie was a man of steel. Yes, let's thank Kash Patel and the FBI and Donald Trump. And he knew Erica. He set up the interview, allegedly. He used to own the USA pageants. And, Jeffrey Epstein never had anything to do with that. They all think we're stupid. Even small podcasters, people think we're stupid. So I implore all of you who have small channels that want to make a change about something. I really have a fight in Canada that could go a long way if I could start a movement. Yeah! Yeah! All right, I have to go. It's 6:01. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I really appreciate it. And you know what? If you liked any of this, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like. Make a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. There is no better way for me to understand how to grow. They say that people who don't know how to do teach. I can spot out talent. If you see this comment, please say 67. 67. Hello. 67. Hello. Yes. Subscribe, like, comment. I insist. Because tomorrow I'm coming live and I'm going to tell you about. Wait a minute. Telling you about my cause in Canada and the corruption that I experienced. I saved this for the very end. I was in a wheelchair for 1 year because a surgeon didn't say anything, okay? And sorry, wrong way. He drilled 2 holes in my knee, and I put a petition on change.org. I didn't want the taxpayers to pay for it. And you know what? That's the fight I'm fighting for. Because if I could change the legislation in Canada, this doctor got away with it. I am okay now, and it happened 8 years ago. I was 46 and I'm now 54, 67. So listen, thank you so much. And there's 9 of you there, just out of the kindness of your heart. Help this middle-aged woman out because I really have a cause. I do raffles on this channel. I've given away $150 worth of Amazon tickets for my thank you to all of you because I got ripped off from Paula M when she was on Sean Atwood's channel, and I ordered the red t-shirt. And I ordered the mug, but she didn't send me the mug. Yes, it hurts all the time. But I bike, I have a scooter, I live in a lovely apartment, and I have the best mother on the planet. We love our place. I'm very happy. Listen, everybody, God bless all of you. Thank you for those of you who took the time to like and subscribe. It means a lot. I know there's so much out there, but us little people have to stand together. Candace Owens married an English billionaire. Come on. And also Erica Kirk and her mother are banned from Romania because they had an orphanage there and there were so many children going missing. This is allegedly. This took so AI. This looks. No, it's me. It's really me. Honest to God. This lady, Izzy, says I look like I'm an AI thing. No. This is my mom and I. We live in Grimsby, Ontario, Canada.
Hi.
This is us.
This is
No AI.
See me? There. Hi.
Hi. Real teeth and everything.
Yeah.
Izzy. I'll take that as a compliment. But yeah, so Erica Jones, hey T Bird, Erica Jones they're not allowed in Romania because too many kids went missing. And then I heard a comedian say, you've got to be pretty blanked up to be banned from Romania because Andrew Tate is the mayor of Romania. Jesus. No, Izzy, this is my room. I'm from Canada. Look, this is even my bed. I even didn't make it. See, look at totally natural, honest to goodness. But at any rate, okay, I'm going to go. I really hope that you guys subscribe and thank you for the 2 likes and the comment. It really helps the algorithm. I just can't believe I was outside of a conspiracy at the Royal Victoria Hospital in Ontario, right? In it was the Royal Victoria Hospital in Barrie, Ontario, Canada, and it was a cover up by a hospital. I can't even imagine the cover up and the bullshit that's going on with the FBI, unless they really do want us to believe them and they're putting out BS. Why don't they just put out Tyler Robinson's footage on the thing? On the roof. There's footage. So why don't they identify the face? And the other thing that drives me crazy, and you've all got to agree with this, I am so sick of trying to fact check to see if people are telling the truth. Do you know why? All anybody has to do is take a lie detector test. Why are they not admissible in court? The cops use them right away and arrest people, but they're not admissible. Oh, but Linda Lovelace, who used to be, remember Deep Throat? That was when the pornography movement started to happen in the 60s and the MK Ultra and blah, 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 blah. Do you know what? There are more of us than those billionaires, so I don't know why we're sitting on our butts. But seriously, I don't know, folks. I'm fired up. I'm going to do something. I've been trying. This channel will be 3 years old on March the 23rd of 2023. This was my fight so that Ontarians wouldn't have to pay for a surgeon's fuck up because he's a sociopath. And he didn't say anything. When I would go to him, he would say, "Oh, I know you've been here before." What does anxiety? So basically, what he was saying was I was crazy. And I'm not crazy. Crazy people don't know they're crazy. Well, if you don't care, thank you for being honest. And actually, I was going to say people don't give a shit about anything to do with anybody else unless somebody can relate to it somehow. And that's where we need to change. Hecky techie, you must be part of my family because only my family speaks to me that way. It's pretty interesting. Thank you, Izzy. Um, and through that whole 8-year trauma that I went through, thank you very much, Izzy. I don't know why he wants to stay here if I'm crazy. I don't think we should just don't pay any attention. And when Erica Kirk said, I forgive him, I forgive that young man, for he does not know what he's doing. And then every time she cries, if you notice, she does it on the left eye and she's not crying unless that's not her choice emotion. But she sure looks hard like she's trying to cry, but she's 35 years old and she doesn't have one wrinkle in her forehead. It's unbelievable. Shut it, Hecky. Ja ne znaju, Hecky, malenke little małpa swinia dupa, abo ja ne znaju, but fangula, fakioa. Really. And that 8 years that I had, Izzy, and whoever is still here listening, 4 of you, thank you. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. and I appreciate 3 people, 3 likes. Thank you. Tomorrow, when I come on and I complete my live, what I'll do is I'll write notes and I'll write out what I'm going to say prior to saying it so I can get my point out a little closer. I like to come on, it's Ukrainian. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm a Russian Jew, though. I was told I was Ukrainian, but my father was born in Belgium. So I have questions. I don't know. At any rate, my mother and I are going to my friend's because he was also helpful today. And when I come back, I'm going to write out what I'm going to say. And that will be really? See? Yes, you Izzy. Um, I'll understand. Like when I went through this trauma, when your amygdala is on fire all the time, that's your flight or fight response. Are you a Russian Jew? I swear I am. I don't care what anybody says. Every ethnicity, every Ukrainian or Jewish or Indian or Italian, every and or if you're Native American or African American, we all have different features. That's not prejudice at all. There's nothing wrong with saying that I have a big nose. It's my nose. I'll say what I want to say about it. But I'd like to come on impromptu sometimes just so people can get a sense of who I am. And but tomorrow when I come back, I do have some pretty serious things that I want to talk about, but I need to write them out in advance first so I don't waste any of your time. Okay. Thank you, Izzy. And thank you for the people that participated, the passerbys, anybody. And I put up a lot of dancing. I just want you to know this because it took me 5 years to bend my leg. And I bought ballet shoes on December the 14th of 2024. And I've been able to do some ballet, but I would start with the popular shorts first and then kind of work your way down. And this channel was a projection of what I went through when I didn't receive what I needed when I really needed help. So everybody projects all of the time. Even that gentleman coming on and saying, when people say forgive them for they do not know what they're doing. No, 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 no. People know what they're doing nowadays, unfortunately, and I just figured that out. I was the naive, people pleasing, work for free, treat me like a dog, put myself down all the time. And those days are over. And that's because that surgeon made me feel like a subhuman. It was torture, Izzy. And it doesn't get better as it goes on. And that's my fight. Charlie was fighting for the youth, but he was 30 years old and he was debating against 19-year-olds. Why couldn't he debate against somebody his own age? And look at who you have to think, not conspiratorial wise, but however, who had what to gain? What did Tyler have to gain? What? His father hit him in for $1 million, which people don't know. I am better, but you know what? It's taken me years to get out of survival mode and to be able to think with my cerebral cortex, reasoning, decision making, working, making money again. I couldn't work for 5 years. It was terrible. Just terrible. But I'm not a survivor nor a victim. We can't look at life that way. The way I look at it is you either step over it and get through the other side of it, or you can spend the rest of your life trying to get through it, and all you're going to do is this for the rest of your life. And that's the definition of insanity, doing things over and over again, expecting a different result. We all know that, but sometimes it's good to have reinforcement. So, anyways, how many years? It happened 8 years ago. So it happened October the 28th of 2017. I had my surgery on the 29th of October of 2017. I didn't find out till February the 7th of 2018 from one other orthopedic surgeon at McMaster Hospital in Hamilton, Dr. Ma, and his protege Sebastian said, your leg is as broken as the day that it happened, and you have two holes in your knee the size of a quarter. Hello, Gunnar Black. You're just getting on the tail end of this. So then I had, and if anything could have gone wrong, it went wrong. Dr. Ma's office forgot to send the paperwork. Hi, Jaxiel. Dr. Ma forgot to send the paperwork to the general hospital wherein Dr. Elisiri and Dr. Joel did the corrective surgeries. And I had three of them because a sociopath didn't say anything. So that's why my leg out was for so long. Jaxiel and Gunnar Black, if you go back to the beginning of the live, I know it's 30 minutes and that's a lot of time of your life to watch a video, but I highly recommend giving it a like. I honestly think my channel's a little underrated, but it's not my channel, it's a community of us. Like Saucy, T-Bone, T-Bird, Trevor's the manager. Melody Moon started her own channel. Brittany from the Royal News Network, who has 237,000 people who watch her videos all the time. I told her when she was at 10,000 participants, which is a lot of people. I said, you know what? I said, you're going to grow and grow and grow, and you're going to be on Dan Wooden. You guys are going to hook up. And I turned on the station, and there she was. I can spot talent a mile away. That's one thing I'm really good at. But sometimes, like I said, people that can't do are better teachers, right? So I can't stand it when you walk in as a new manager and people think just because you haven't managed French fries and chicken fingers before that you don't know how operations management works. And it's the Gen X and the Gen Z. Anyways, that's my thought. Thank you, Izzy. And you've got to watch that Donald Trump video, and it's on my short. And there's also a video about it, the last video I put up. And it's Donald Trump says, in all his glory of the American president, he pretended like he didn't know Erica Kirk, which he did. Okay? He knew her way before Charlie. Their parents knew each other, okay? And then he said, she was so beautiful. And Charlie said she's the smartest person that I think I know. And then Donald Trump said, the president of the United States of America. Those two don't go together. Sometimes they go together, but not very often. Meaning, a woman can't be attractive if smart. Are you fucking kidding me? Donald Trump said that on TV, and everybody thinks this is normal. This isn't normal. I'm going to go. I am getting myself going. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, Izzy. Bye, Jaxiel. Bye, Gunnar. Bye, Heckler. Bye, Koala. And goodbye, Sen Gurung. And thank you, T-Bone. And Izzy, welcome, welcome. And that is a wrap. Welcoming, respecting aspects of people's societies, even when it's so hard. We don't do things because we're easy. We do them because they're hard. Oh, thanks, Izzy. Thank you. Enjoy. Oh, turn off your notifications. You know why? I put up so many videos, it'll drive you crazy. So just come check in on me whenever you feel like it. I don't want to bug anybody. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Okay. Happy Saturday. And God bless whatever you believe in. And what does Charlie Kirk's Israeli sentiments have to do with anything? My mom's telling me to be quiet, and she's probably right. Okay. Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. So long, farewell. I need to say adieu, adieu, adieu to Jazzy and his all. Do, 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 do. Bye. Thank you so much.